last week we told you that the House had voted 390 to 23 in favor of the Republican jobs bill, okay? And the Senate is looking forward to voting in favor of it as well, with Democrats Chuck Schumer and Harry Reid taking the lead on it in supporting the Republican proposals. President Obama is in favor of it. It's going to pass. So it must be good, bipartisan, right? Oh, the rest of the press is, of course, celebrating it. When you actually look at what's in the bill, it is a disaster and will do the exact opposite of creating jobs. What does it do? Well, first of all, it abandons much of the 1930s era securities regulation. Oh, that's what we did in order to ensure that we didn't have a Great Depression-like collapse again. So we're going to get rid of that so that we can have another Great Depression-like collapse, because part of the reason we did that is because there was rampant fraud. That's part of what caused the Great Depression. So we did regulation to make sure there wasn't fraud. Now we're going to strip more of that away. What else does it do? It takes away very important parts of the Sarbanes-Oxley law that was supposed to help us after the great frauds in Enron and WorldCom that happened in 2002. Well, we're stripping that away as well. On top of that, we're adding what is called crowd financing. So it allows you to raise money up to $1 to $2 million through internet solicitations, and disclosure on it would be bare bones, and there would be no real penalties for lying. Fantastic! Take away penalties for lying. I bet that doesn't hurt fraud at all. Okay, so Professor Ritter has spoken out on it. Professor John Coates has spoken out about it. Simon Johnson has written about their complaints, and these are people who are familiar with these matters, obviously, and they're saying that more likely than not, this will actually eventually cause the stock market to go down and for jobs to be in a worse position. Now, why? Because the reason the stock market works is because investors have some degree of, belief that what they're hearing is not totally made up, that they can trust the information that they're getting. If they get less information, or they can trust that information less, either way, and this jobs bill, so-called jobs bill, does both, well, then they're going to be less likely to invest in companies. It's actually very logical. In fact, let me let Simon Johnson lay it out for you guys. Number one, he says, any smart investor will want to be better compensated for investing in a particular firm. This raises, not lowers, the cost of capital. The effect on job creation is likely to be negative, not positive. Because if you are putting in a certain amount of money, but you don't know that your money is safe, well, you're going to need a bigger return to make sure that you could take that level of risk. Hence, you're going to be less likely to put in the money if you're getting the return you used to be getting. So, and if there's less companies created, less investment, at some point there'll be less jobs. It's an airtight case. It's also backed up by history. I'll get to that in a second. Simon Johnson also says sensible securities laws protect everyone, including entrepreneurs who can raise capital more cheaply. The only people who lose out are those who prefer to run scams of various kinds. In other words, what our two parties represent. The Democrats and the Republicans. They're like, hey, should we agree to give the scammers more of an advantage? They're like, of course we should. Simon Johnson continues, investor protection is good for growth and essential for sustaining capital markets. No question. If you don't have investor protection, well, who the hell would invest in you? The reason that the American markets have been so strong since we did that regulation in the 1930s, all the way to, the late 1990s when we started stripping away all the regulation, is because we had a stable market where investors could have faith that they knew what they were getting. Now we're beginning to shred that. They shredded it back in 1999. Clinton administration agreed with the Republican plan to do deregulation. It led into the crash of 2008. Now, after the crash of 2008, they're going to strip away even more protection for investors and regulation. Now, some people do benefit from this. It's the criminals that are running our banking industry today. So they love it. They're the ones who put in the money to these corrupt politicians to get the law in the first place. Now, some might be wondering, why did the Democrats go along? First, allow me a little bit of laughter. Why did the Democrats go along? Well, of course, they get funded by the same guys. Of course, that's why they went along. They're the good cops, so-called, to the Republicans' bad cops. They're the ones that go, oh, you know what? It's right before an election, and they called it a jobs bill. Well, if we fought them, that could hurt our political chances. There was nothing we could do. Of course, we had to vote 390 to 23 in favor of the bill. This is how we get robbed.